All right, it is February 7th, 2025. I have no particular goal in mind with this video except for to sort of show off the, I'm gonna say famous, but well, it's probably notorious Gummy Bear Hill, which is part of the Stone Steps 50K, which is in Mount Airy Forest, Cincinnati, Ohio. Right now, I am lightly running the descent to Gummy Bear. I think, personally, in my experience, this has been like a big spot where I've seen a lot of people fall. Lots of rocks and roots, and you're going down a hill, and you've been kind of flat for a while, so as flat as it gets around here, I guess. But I think people are just kind of relieved by this point in the loop to have a nice downhill. Might be one of the bigger downhills in the entire big loop, come to think of it. And so they kind of rush and don't watch their footing, and maybe their time for the big loop is a little slower than they wanted. We have some steps here. There's a parking area down here. This part of the trail is technically called Cedar Trail. Nice stream. It's not usually flowing. We had a lot of snow and some rain recently, so I have some water in this creek. Bridge here. I'll give you a better look in a second. And we're about to start heading up Gummy Bear. So here's the bridge. The opposite side of the bridge, that's Gummy Bear. So it starts off with a bit of some steps and a pretty good uphill. It's particularly tough in the mud. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it on the camera, but there are a lot of slide marks. It's hard to get traction here in the mud. This big tree fell not too long ago. Yeah, it's just holding water. That's why I'm kind of running off to the side, which is something personally that I like to do. I don't know if I'd say it's good advice or not. I do it more just not to damage the trails. But there might be some strategy to it. Stay where there's some footing. Use the old leaves. I mean, that's just, your foot's wet if you step in that. There's a big ditch. Kind of stepping in it, but not really. And up some more of these little stair things. I'll share a personal story. At one point during the race, one of the races, like my second or third, I was too hot and didn't have enough water, and hallucinated that this stump, which has been here since I've known this trail, so more than a decade, I thought it was a warthog. And I thought to myself, there are no warthogs in Cincinnati. And so I said, I need to shed some of these clothes and get some water. And I did so and felt much better. Anyway, back to Gummy Bear itself. It gets kind of flat. Look at this, there's a little downhill. Don't let it trick you. I mean, by all means, if you got some legs on you, and you got some energy in your tank at this point, run that. Because right after you get this, which is really pretty steep uphill. And in some ways, while it's definitely not as long and as steep, maybe it's as steep, but it's not as long as the Stone Steps, it is tough footing. Stone Steps are sort of these stone steps, as they say. You know, big fieldstone rocks like this, stacked one on top of each other. Which, don't get me wrong, it's not like you're running on a treadmill or even a Stairmaster. It's uneven, they move, they're rocks, you're outside. But it's not this, you know? Roots go in the wrong direction, or the right direction, I don't know, however you want to say it. Or big steps like this, which I'm a little on the shorter side. I don't know, 5'7", something like that. And that's a big step. So I think Gummy Bear kind of is unexpectedly tough. It's not a really long segment. We're still on it right now. I'm still going up. Excuse me. But what it is just uneven footing and kind of weird and very late in the loop. You're close to 5 miles now. And why do they call it Gummy Bear? We're almost to the top of the segment. The Strava segment actually would end at this here stump. It used to be a whole piece that used to be attached, but not anymore. So that's where the official Strava segment ends. But right up here, usually on this, sometimes just sitting up here anywhere, is a bag of gummy bears. Different people feel differently about what you eat during races. I used to eat a lot of that kind of stuff. It doesn't work for me, but I'll always eat like at least one during the race. So yeah, that's basically it for Gummy Bear. I may make another video on the next section of trail sometime. It's really short, but it's like gravel. Like, I'll show it to you just briefly, but it's like flat gravel, some of the easiest footing you're gonna get during the race. And it leads you right back to the oval. So, you know, people do different things there. Sometimes they run really fast and they just go all the way through. Sometimes maybe they save a little juice, right? Gotta go out to the public, want to look like you're feeling great and strong. That'd be the place for you to catch your breath after Gummy Bear for a second. Right now, as the last part of the video, there is this weird little connecting trail that, if you're ever out here training, don't do it during the race because it'd be cheating. But if you ever are out here training and you get injured or something, or you're just not feeling Gummy Bear, down or up for some reason, I don't know, a thunderstorm rolls in, rolled your ankle, whatever it is. Instead of going down Gummy Bear descent, if you hook the right, you skip it, and you only have like 100 yards or so, and you'll be right to that nice, comfy, gravelly trail. So anyway, that's Gummy Bear Hill on a nice muddy Friday afternoon in February.